And what about and I think this is a little less well known in the healthcare community, ZPIC audits.
Well, the ZPIC audits, those are the ZPIC stands for Zone Program Integrity Contractors. Again, they are also hired by CMS, and they are basically targeting fraud, waste, and abuse. Now, between you and me, all these things that they're targeting really are the same things that a RAC audit is targeting, if you think about, and even what the third-party payers are doing right now. I mean, they're certainly looking at waste and fraud and overpayments. So a lot of the things that we're hearing about, they may sound different, but pretty much they're all growing out of the same thing. And the ZPIC audits pretty much are targeting, physicians, physical therapists, skilled nursing facilities, and DME suppliers. And these audits are not random. They're actually they're non-random audits. Physicians are being specifically targeted. The audits are unannounced, or there's very, very little notice is being provided to the physician. They can actually come in and inspect your office. They can review the records, and they can interview providers and patients, and even impose administrative sanctions during the audit. So it's it's an aggressive audit, the ZPIC audit.
Right. And you go back earlier, we mentioned compliance programs. If an auditor comes in, whether it's a RAC audit or ZPIC audit, or even from the OIG, the Office of the Inspector General, having a compliance program in place, how does that help you?
Well, you're always concerned about, the audits, especially, for example, like the ZPIC audit. What makes this even more onerous than the other audits is a lot of times the ZPIC audits can be referred to, to law enforcement, or you could be excluded from Medicaid, or you could have criminal and or civil charges imposed against you. So these are very serious things, and if you basically start developing a compliance plan, I think that you are showing the people who are coming in and doing the audits that you are taking the issue very, very seriously. But as you know, it's not enough to create a compliance plan. You have to enact it, you have to implement it, and you have to enforce it. And so you have to show the people who are coming in that you do have an effective compliance program where you have open communications, you have training, you have internal audits, you are taking corrective actions, you're not taking any retaliatory measures, you have a compliance officer in place, and you have policies and procedures regarding how you respond to audits. Now, obviously, that's a lot there, and depending if you're a solo practitioner, my idea of a compliance program will be very, very different than if you're a 75 physician practice. So we have to look at, when we're asked to develop a compliance program, especially one that will be effective, it doesn't make sense developing a tank of a compliance program for a very small practice that's not going to go through it. So we want to make sure that we look at the practice and we assist the practice in developing a compliance program that it feels comfortable enforcing and implementing. Right.
Now, I want to let all our guests know out there that, of course, Barry, he is a licensed attorney both in New York and the state of Connecticut, and he is not giving legal advice this evening. But certainly, you're more than welcome to contact. Can we give some contact information for you, Barry? That would be, your email address would be?
Well, my email address is B. Right. Cepelewicz, and that's BCEPELEWICZ at M like Mary, D like David, P like Peter, C like Cat, E like Edward, Law, LAW.com. And my phone number is area code 914-517-5000, and just ask for me.
That's great. I know all the folks out there appreciate listening to you this day, Barry, because, again, audits are becoming a subject of great consternation out there in the healthcare community. So the more they know, the better educated they are about it.
Well, absolutely, and as you know, not only is it serious, and not only are we seeing more and more audits and different types of audits, but certainly the new administration has always said that they're going to fight fraud aggressively, and so this is something that's on the political and economic and medical radar.
Absolutely. Barry, thank you so much for being our inaugural guest here at the Healthcare Business Network. Remember, folks, you can get all our shows at hbnradioshow.com. That's www.hbnradioshow.com. And next week we will have another exciting guest in the world of the business of healthcare, and we look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.